This is the new 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander Platinum. The Highlander has long been one of the best-selling three-row family crossovers on the market, but it wasn't for everyone. For example, the Highlander was a lot smaller than the competition, making it hard to accommodate the whole family because of the tight third row. Well, Toyota has made some improvements, and instead of making the Highlander a lot bigger, they introduced this, the Grand Highlander, which is a lot bigger, has a new design, some new interior features, and a bigger third row. So is this worth the extra money over the Highlander? Let's go ahead and find out. Starting with the exterior styling, I see no resemblance with the regular Highlander. In fact, I see more resemblance with the RAV4. You have a chrome strip that goes along the top, and you also have a split grille that is fully functional. This grille will be fully blacked out. Moving on to the headlights, these will be very different from the regular Highlanders. These will be full LED, including a projector-style LED headlamp and fog lights down below. The blinkers will also be LED, which could not be said about the regular Highlander. Moving on to the wheels, all Grand Highlander Platinums will get 20-inch alloy wheels. However, if you choose the gas engine, you will get these ugly chrome hubcaps that go over them, which I would never choose if I was buying a Grand Highlander. Now let's take a look at the side profile. You will get a chrome strip that runs along the bottom of the windows and almost fully loaded mirrors with heating, blind spot monitoring, and power folding. You're just going to miss auto dimming. Moving on to the back, I really like how they painted the Grand Highlander branding and how the top brake light goes all the way across. Speaking of the taillights, you will get fully LED taillights, including the LED reverse light and the turn signal indicator, which is also part of the brake light. Now let's take a look at the interior and see what kind of goodies you get for $60,000. Now this is actually more expensive and more luxurious than your traditional Toyota. So we have some new features and some pretty cool ones on this Grand Highlander. Starting with the door panel, we have soft touch material along the top, open pore wood trim, leather, all of your switch gear, and a lot of storage down below. If you don't like the wood trim, then you can get carbon fiber on the Hybrid Max. You also have controls for your two-person memory seats. We have these really cool door sills right here, and the optional all-weather floor liners. The seats will be made of real perforated leather, and they come in 3 color options. Now, we also have Ultra Suede if you get the Hybrid Max, but I think it looks good with or without it. Down here we have controls for the 10-way power adjustable seats, including the 2-way lumbar support. Now inside this Grand Highlander, this is a really nice place to be, and it smells great too. And first thing I noticed when I got in here was that it was really quiet. Now down here we have controls for our heated steering wheel, and the steering wheel will be very nicely leather wrapped. Now for the gauge cluster, this will be fully digital and you will have full customization. And when you change your drive mode, then that will give you a really cool animation. And I really like it when you put it in sport. You have kind of this really cool red graphic, and you have a Grand Highlander there every time. Now up here we do have a heads-up display, and you also have soft touch material along the dash. You also have more of that wood trim, some leather down here, and most of the center area is finished in plastic. Now right here where your knee would rest, that is in some harder leather material, but I think the materials in this Grand Highlander are amazing. Moving on to storage, you definitely have a lot of that. You have this giant area in the passenger side that you could put a phone there, and you also have another storage area there and a wireless phone charger. Now you actually have 3 cup holders in this Grand Highlander, and the one right here can hold a really large water bottle. Now down here we have our drive mode selections, and we also have the sliding center console. As you can see, we have a lot of space down there, and even if it's open, you still have a little bit of an armrest on both sides. Taking a look at the climate controls, these are full physical and we have dual zone up here. Now we also have controls for heated and ventilated seats, which is very nice to have for $60,000. You also have your front and rear defrost, and these knobs will control the temperature. Now if you don't like using the physical buttons for some reason, you can use the screen, and you can also use that to control the rear temperature. Now the rear is currently off right now, so if your kid doesn't know how to use it, then you can control it from up here. Now taking a look at the screen, this is Toyota's latest design. We have the 12.3-inch audio multimedia display. As you can see, very intuitive, very quick, and responsive. You have navigation, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and a Wi-Fi hotspot. Now, taking a look at the camera, if you pull back, that will put it in reverse. And my tripod is right there, so it's going to give me a little warning. And you have a full 360-degree view. They also have active trajectory. And as you can see, it's very high resolution, way better resolution than the normal Highlander and the Sienna. Now you can also change your different lines, so if you don't really like that, then you can make it something different. But you also have a rear camera washer, which is a very thoughtful thing on this Highlander. Now you can also turn that off if you want to, and if you put it in park and push this button, you'll have a full 360-degree view. Now that is very helpful, but if you want to have another camera, you put it in drive, and you have this camera right here. That is a forward-facing view. You also will have active trajectory on that side, and it's very clear, very crisp, and as you can see, we really have a well thought out camera system on this Grand Highlander. Now this turbo model is the only one that will get the traditional shifter, so if you want the electronic one, you'll have to go for the Hybrid Max. So this is a great setup in the Grand Highlander, and they really put a lot of thought into it, and I appreciate that. Up here we have a normal mirror, digital mirror, and we have controls up here for the large panoramic sunroof that stretches all the way back to the second row. Now let's take a look at the passenger side and see what kind of goodies your front passenger is going to get. Of course, we have the same gray leather seats with heating and ventilating. However, you will lose the 2 ways of lumbar support, reducing it to 8 ways of power adjusting. Now you do have the Grand Highlander branded door sills and the Grand Highlander branded floor mats, and basically the same door panel as the driver's side with the soft touch plastic up top, leather on the armrest, and the faux open pore wood trim. The Grand Highlander provides plenty of storage down below, and getting into the front passenger side is pretty easy. I am very comfortable here as I have plenty of legroom and headroom, and I also get nice amenities like my own storage cubby above the glove box. This is a very nice amenity to have, and I would like to see more car manufacturers add this to their vehicles. You also get your own USB-C port if you want to charge devices. There are also 2 more USB-C ports, but I'm glad Toyota was thoughtful and added that just for the front passenger. Taking a look at the glove box, you have plenty of space, about the same as the regular Highlander and the Sienna. It's very wide, and you will have no problem storing anything in here. Of course, it is also lockable. The Grand Highlander offers even more storage space, like this cubby on the side of the center console. You can put a small hamburger there, and it is plastic lined, so it will be easy to clean. I forgot to mention that there is a sunglasses holder, but unlike the Sienna, there is no mirror to spy on your kids. Coming to the second row, I have to tell you that this was very well thought out. You have very comfortable leather seats with full sliding and reclining abilities, which is a nice feature to have on a crossover like this. You even get a gray accent to your seats, which are also available on the front. Taking a look at the door panel, we get soft touch, leather, and a sunscreen shade. And take a look at how much storage you get down here. You can fit a lot in that door pocket. Now, we also have a very good step-in height, so it's not too low to the ground, but it's not too high off the ground that kids won't be able to get in here easily. Take a look at how much legroom I have. This seat is slid almost all the way back, and I still have a good 4 inches of legroom. Toyota's seatback pockets are getting pretty tight, and that is pretty disappointing to see on a 3-row crossover like this, but we do get 2 USB-C ports and a household-style outlet down below. In the center, you'll get your third zone of climate control and 3 stages of heated and ventilated seats. The ventilated seats are something you don't see every day in this segment. For example, the Honda Pilot and Volkswagen Atlas do not offer this feature. You also will get a center console which is removable, which has 2 cubbies on either side, a cubby for the third row, and 2 cup holders. Up top, you can see that the panoramic sunroof lets in plenty of light for your passengers. The second row of the regular Highlander is actually a pretty nice place to spend time. However, Toyota struggled to give the third row passengers enough space and amenities to be comfortable. The Grand Highlander fixes that all. You can pull this lever or this latch to get into the third row very easily, and then you can just climb the steps. The third row was very well thought out. You get a lot of legroom, almost class leading at 33.5 inches. Even with the seat slid all the way back, I still get about 2 inches of legroom, and the thigh support is not bad. You also get very good amenities back here. 3 cup holders on each side, and you also get a USB-C port on each side with a handle to climb into the third row even easier. You also get a leather padded armrest, which cannot be found in the Sienna. You can recline the seats just by pulling that latch and pushing back. It's impressive that this Grand Highlander, being 7 inches smaller than the Sequoia, is able to exceed the legroom that is offered in the Sequoia. Let's take a look at the cargo area and see how much space you're going to get over the competition. To open the tailgate, just kick your foot under the bumper and that will open it up hands-free. Behind the third row, you're going to get 20.6 cubic feet of cargo room, which is more than Pilot and about the same as Telluride and Palisade. You also get the Toyota First Aid Kit and the all-weather floor liner, and the First Aid Kit, by the way, is Velcro. To fold down the third row, you're just going to pull the latch that reclines the seat as well, and then you're going to get 58 cubic feet of cargo room, which is about the same as the Telluride and Palisade, and a little bit more than Pilot. Of course, this is going to be a lot more than the regular Highlander, and if you fold down all of the seats, that's going to give you 97.5 cubic feet, which is close to class leading. Fun fact, you actually get 9 more cubic feet of maximum cargo room than the Sequoia. Toyota is going to offer you 3 different powertrain options: a traditional gas engine, a traditional hybrid, and a hybrid max, which combines the gas engine with 2 electric motors, making 362 horsepower. Today, we have the standard engine, which is the 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. This makes 265 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. This is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission and gets relatively good fuel economy at 21 in the city, 28 on the highway, and about 24 combined. The regular Highlander also gets this engine with the same exact specs, and the Lexus TX gets the same engine with about 10 more horsepower. The 3-row family crossover segment has always been one of the most competitive segments in the auto industry. The Highlander still managed to stay in second place with the small third row under the Kia Telluride. The Grand Highlander is here and is blowing everyone else out of the water, even the updated things like the Volkswagen Atlas and the all-new Mazda CX-90. Because of all of the great features that it has, like the spacious third row and the large cargo area, the Grand Highlander is now the class-leading vehicle in this segment. Moving on to dimensions, this Grand Highlander measures in at 201 inches in length and 78 inches in width. Well, that is going to wrap up today's video on this 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander Platinum. The Grand Highlander fills in a major gap between the regular Highlander and the Sequoia, since the Sequoia is too truck-like and wasn't very fuel efficient, and now that it's hybrid, there's a big mess in the cargo area and the third row. The Highlander was just too small, and the third row was just unusable for most families. And people in 2024 don't like minivans anymore, so they can't buy a Sienna. Well, the Grand Highlander is here for those people that want a Toyota SUV but don't want to buy something as big as the Sequoia. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.